Today, we are going to talk about rheumatoid arthritis. RA does not exist in isolation. It sits inside a family of diffuse connective tissue diseases that share a core identity: systemic, chronic, immunologically driven, and defined by flares and remissions. SLE, Sjogren's, scleroderma, polymyositis, polymyalgia rheumatica, and giant cell arteritis are all in this family. Patients with one can overlap into another. When you see RA, always be scanning for features of the others. Dry eyes and mouth suggest Sjogren's, Raynaud's suggests vascular involvement, and skin changes may point towards scleroderma. RA affects 1 to 2% of the global population, and women get it 3 times more than men. Typical onset is the 30s through 50s, but watch out for elderly onset RA after age 65, which can present differently and get missed because stiffness and joint pain get blamed on normal aging. Risk factors span 3 categories: genetics, family history matters; biological, nulliparity increases risk, suggesting hormonal links; and lifestyle, smoking and obesity are the most modifiable risks. This cascade is the foundation of everything. Genetic predisposition turns on an autoimmune process in the synovium, the lining of the joint. Collagen breaks down, edema floods the joint, and synovial cells proliferate wildly. That proliferation forms pannus, an invasive destructive tissue that directly erodes cartilage and bone. Once pannus destroys the joint surface, that destruction is permanent. And RA does not stop at the joint. It damages muscles, tendons, and ligaments, accelerates arteriosclerosis through cholesterol disruption, and hits the nervous system with nerve compression, neuropathies, and vasculitis. This is systemic destruction, not a local joint problem. 3 things lock in the clinical picture of early RA. First, the morning marker: stiffness lasting more than 1 hour. Less than an hour points toward osteoarthritis. More than an hour is your inflammatory red flag. Second, the pattern: symmetric and bilateral, starting in the small joints of the hands and feet, then marching outward to wrists, knees, shoulders. Asymmetric onset makes you think twice about the diagnosis. Third, the progression path: warmth, erythema, effusion, then guarding, immobility, and ultimately contractures and permanent deformities. Ulnar deviation and swan neck deformity are the classic end-stage hand findings. RA reaches everywhere: constitutionally, fever, fatigue, weight loss. Your patient feels sick all over, not just in their joints. Hematologically, anemia of chronic disease and splenomegaly. Cardiovascular, this is where RA gets lethal: pericarditis, arteritis, Raynaud's phenomenon. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in RA patients. You need to be screening for it aggressively. Dermatologically, rheumatoid nodules over bony prominences, firm, movable, non-tender, and linked with RF positivity. Their presence confirms systemic disease activity, and Sjogren's syndrome frequently coexists, causing dry eyes and dry mouth that significantly impair quality of life. The rule of 6, a diagnostic criteria score of 6 or greater, confirms RA. The scoring combines joint involvement, serology results, inflammatory markers, and symptom duration over 6 weeks. Know this for the exam. In your lab's matrix, anti-CCP is your gold standard, 95% specificity for RA. That means a positive anti-CCP is a very strong indicator. Rheumatoid factor is common but not diagnostic. It can be positive in SLE, Sjogren's, even some healthy older adults. ESR and CRP track disease activity, not diagnosis. CBC watches for the anemia and thrombocytosis that accompany chronic inflammation. And mandatory before any immunosuppressive therapy: screen for TB and hepatitis B and C. Reactivation of latent TB on biologics is a real, potentially fatal complication. 4 pillars, and they build on each other. Decrease pain and swelling to make the patient functional. Achieve clinical remission. This is now an achievable goal with modern biologics, not just a hope. Prevent structural joint deformity, because once pannus destroys that cartilage, it does not grow back. Maintain physical function and independence, because your patient's ability to work, care for themselves, and participate in their life is the ultimate outcome that matters. Every drug and intervention you use should be measured against these 4 goals. 3 tiers: Understand the mechanism and the limits of each. DMARDs are the disease-modifying foundation. Methotrexate is the first-line preferred agent for non-biologic therapy. Start within 3 months of diagnosis. Biologics IMARDs target specific pathways: TNF, IL-1, IL-6, B cells, T cells. JAK inhibitors block cytokine signaling broadly. Critical exam concept: DMARDs and biologics change the disease course. Corticosteroids and NSAIDs do not. Corticosteroids are bridge therapy only. They suppress the flare, while DMARDs take effect. NSAIDs manage symptoms. Using them long-term without DMARDs is inadequate care. Monitor liver and kidney function in all patients on DMARDs. Methotrexate is hepatotoxic and nephrotoxic. 2 distinct phases, 2 distinct priorities. Early RA, your window to interrupt the cascade. DMARDs within 3 months is the standard of care. Not 3 months from when you get around to it, 3 months from diagnosis. Miss this window and you lose joint tissue you cannot get back. Established RA. The focus shifts to preserving what function remains and reconstructing what's been lost. PT and OT teach pacing and joint protection. Essential for daily survival. When pain and disability become severe, surgical options include synovectomy to remove pannus, tendon repair, arthrodesis to fuse unstable joints, and total joint replacement. Corticosteroid injections into large joints provide localized relief but cannot be repeated frequently without accelerating tissue damage. 4 core nursing roles. All of them are yours. Patient education. Teach the disease process, every medication's purpose and side effects, adaptive devices, and topical agent safety. Apply sparingly. Avoid open skin. Wash hands after application. These are not small details. Topical NSAIDs and capsaicin applied incorrectly cause burns and systemic absorption. Symptom control and self-care. Help your patient manage pain, fatigue, sleep disruption, and limited mobility. Teach pacing. Activity spread throughout the day, not boom and bust cycles. Safety and complication monitoring. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death. You need to be asking about chest pain, dyspnea, and cardiac risk factors at every encounter. Psychosocial support. RA changes who your patient is, their roles at work, in their family, their identity. Depression and anxiety are common. RA does not end at discharge. Frail and functionally limited patients need home health referrals. Home visits let you see what the chart cannot. A bathroom without grab bars, medications the patient cannot open, a refrigerator they cannot reach. Comorbidity management is critically important. Diabetes plus RA hand deformities means your patient may not be able to check their blood sugar or inject insulin. That intersection is life-threatening and requires active coordination. Community resources, PT and OT referrals, the Arthritis Foundation for Education and Support, Meals on Wheels when cooking has become impossible. Reinforce medication adherence at every interaction. These are complex regimens with serious consequences for non-compliance. This Venn diagram is the model. Aggressive medical therapy, DMARDs, biologics, diagnostic precision, interrupts the disease at the biological level. Physical rehabilitation, joint protection, pacing, PTOT, reconstructive surgery, preserves and restores function. Psychosocial and nursing support, education, advocacy, complication monitoring, transitional care, holds the whole patient together. None of these circles works alone. The intersection of all 3 is where your patient achieves remission, independence, and quality of life. The nurse touches all 3 circles. This summary pulls it all together for your review. Clinically, symmetric bilateral small joint involvement with morning stiffness over 1 hour. That pattern means RA until proven otherwise. Pathologically, synovial proliferation forms pannus that erodes cartilage and bone irreversibly. Diagnostically, score of 6 or above confirms ARA. Anti-CCP at 95% specificity is your strongest serologic tool. ESR and CRP track disease activity. CBC monitors for anemia. In management, DMARDs start within 3 months. That is your 3-month treatment window. Monitor cardiovascular risk at every visit. It is the leading killer in this population. Your holistic nursing interventions. Joint protection, pacing, medication adherence, and screening for depression and anxiety are what translate good prescribing into good outcomes.